Yo, how's everybody motherfucking doing? Shanice told me not to do 2 yos, but I decided to do it any fucking way because I'm grown. I'm grown as hell. I can do 2 yos if I fucking want to. Guess what we have? We got the stats.
That heat.
Now, y'all will be seeing this on, what is today? Wednesday. Y'all be seeing this on Wednesday. We will be dropping this to go along with the Drunkcast. This is supposed to come out Monday. We have some technical difficulties with dropping this, but just to make sure that we want to put out an episode of Wei And Croney, talking sports every single week. So we was like, all right, let's push it back to Tuesday. More technical difficulties happen. So this morning, we both made sure we got up to bring you all this fire-ass content.
No sleep.
No sleep. Fire content, though. This week, we got XFL Week 5, halfway through. We're going to give y'all not only the games that we normally give y'all, the power rankings that we normally give y'all, the players' best and worst of the week that we normally give y'all, but as we keep adding and producing this show, we have something else that we're going to do. And hopefully, next XFL season, we can do it then too, if they come with a season 2, which I definitely believe they will. If I'm not mistaken, the XFL is giving themselves, they have enough money for 3 years. They have enough money to sustain themselves 3 years without making a single profit. So we're going to have a few years of XFL. At least 3 at minimum.
When it comes to that, don't they make their profit off of
tickets, sponsorships,
but sponsors, but like the ratings of it.
Yeah, the higher the ratings, the more people buy tickets, and I don't know. Honestly, don't give me the line. I'm not 100% sure how the game of football makes money besides ticket sales and merchandise and shit.
Because for it to be on whatever channel it's on, don't they get paid for it to be put on their channel?
Facts. As a matter of fact, you're 100% right. You're right. What else? Oh yeah. What we're gonna bring to y'all is who is our mid-season MVP.
That's obvious.
Who's the mid? Apparently he automatically knows who he is. I'm gonna go through everything, but mid-season MVPs, and we're gonna give y'all the mid-season stat leaders for the defense and the offense. And then we have 2 things that we're gonna talk about. After that, we're gonna talk about the coronavirus and how it's been kind of hitting the sports landscape. And then this week we have one question, possibly 2. I have to thoroughly think about the second one before I ask it. But we have one in particular, and we're going to get to that with our NBA question or questions of the week. But are you ready for this motherfucking episode?
I'm ready.
We as ready as we gonna possibly get. So this is episode 5, episode 5 of Talking Sports with Wei And Croney. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the motherfucking show. So, I'm not going to do the whole Uncle Steven bit. Basically, what the fuck just happened, right, was we attempted to record this. Shanice just got back home. She had a prior engagement. So, she called me during the recording, the first time around. I had a little joke about Stephen A that I threw in there, but I feel like now that I've already said it, kind of going back or retracting over that joke is unnecessary. Basically what I said though is if my Uncle Stephen A would not be particularly happy if he saw the actions that I am currently at the moment doing. But we here on Talking Sports with Wei And Croney have the opposite belief of ESPN, where we say
stay on the weed
stay on the weed. But something that
I'm gonna get you high.
Something that we are going to do on this show is a new segment. called Croney's Corner. Now on Croney's Corner, basically what's going to happen is Croney is going to give y'all some verbal heat. He got something he want to get off his chest. You want to let them know what it is?
We just need to do the worldwide debate of Jordan and the King.
That's you're previewing next week. But this week you want to discuss as far as
giving the King them flowers?
Yes.
Why he's still here? Yeah,
yes.
Of course, man. He gets too much hate for being the perfect sportsman, I guess you would say.
I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Never gets in trouble. Always makes the right plays.
Hold on. You giving them Croney's
I ain't giving them nothing.
I'm
gonna make the world mad.
I'm about to say you giving them Croney's corner a little bit too early.
I'm gonna make them real mad.
Giving them Croney's corner. Matter of fact, you know what's about to be so lit about Croney's corner? This is gonna be like your own little separate video on the page. Like literally every week we do Croney's corner, I'm gonna make that a specific segment so I can just put that up, Croney's corner, and we gonna see how the internet blow up.
I'm gonna talk my shit.
But first things first, let's get down to some brass tacks. We got New York versus Dallas. New York and Dallas both came into this game 2-2. The ending score of the game was 30-12. Now, mind you, right? Mind you, sorry I'm hopping in and out of screen, a lot going on right now. But mind you, last week I said without Landry Jones, Dallas would fail.
Yeah, you did. You definitely caught that.
I just peeped it. Like Landry Jones is top 5 right now, even though he's been out for a week. He's top 5 right now in the XFL in passing yards. So if you lose a top 5 QB in passing yards, and your backup got to step in, what the fuck are they gonna really do?
But that wasn't the reason they lost that game, though.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. That's not why they lost that game.
It's not why.
But, well, it's part of it. It's part of it.
I can't even say that, man.
But hold on. So let me go ahead and give y'all my breakdown. I'll let him go, and then the next game that we do is him starting off anyway. The next game we do anyway is him starting. So let me jump this one up. So once again, I told y'all. You okay? Yeah, you gotta get it out. Hold on. You gotta get it out. So
that's that first hit.
That's the first hit of the day. Hit you in the chest, like right there, right in the middle.
Make it to the baby hit house.
But the reason New York balled, shout out to my nigga Luis Perez. Shout out to my Negroid. He ain't even a nigga, but like he definitely Spanish. But shout out to Luis Perez.
Don't they say Spanish? You know.
What was it? Some do. Some I don't know. There's Mexicans and niggas too. This is not political. We're not about to get into that. Shout out to Luis Perez. Shout him out. I told y'all back in week 4 that if in week 5 they put him in and make him the starter, they was gonna get a win. They did it again for week 6. Fuck, my fault. Run that back. So in week 3, I said put Luis Perez in. Make him the starter. Y'all gonna start winning some games. Week 4, they did it. Got the dub. This week, they did it. Got the dub. Mr. Luis Perez, 16 for 30, 229 yards, 1 TD, and 1 interception. So we had him a pretty decent game. With the running backs, their main two, Victor and Stockton. Victor had 15 rushes for 58 yards, and Stockton had 5 rushes for 41 yards. The defense, like he said, was on point. Was on fucking point. The defense was on absolute point this game. Multiple defensive stops, deflections, interceptions, forced fumbles. The defense was just all over the board. A couple of standout receivers. Pearson, 5 receptions, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. McKay, 3 receptions, 67 yards. And Redding, 3 receptions, 46 yards. And here's the crazy part, right? When me and him was rewatching the game, there's one particular play that McKay made that made him look like a man among boys. When I say he big man that ball for one of his receptions, he big man. Like he literally went snatch like
he took the cookie jar and ate the cookies, nigga.
Ridiculous.
For real.
Now Dallas, let's get on y'all here real quick. Y'all didn't have Landry, so I didn't particularly penalize y'all too bad in the game anyway. I didn't penalize y'all too bad, but Philip Nelson, I penalized you, sir. Philip Nelson, 28 completions, 49 attempts.
50%.
Yep. Now that's not good. That's definitely not good.
Why are you saying that? Because
the average NFL QB is between like 60 to 65%.
No, I wasn't saying that it's good, but you guys take into account that he is a backup quarterback and he still had a 50% QB rating.
Okay. Well, that's his passing percentage. His QB rating is actually like a little bit lower than that. But
for that game,
yeah, but that's because he had 210 yards and 2 interceptions. So the 2 interceptions knocked him down. Something significant. The offense looked stale. They only rushed 14 times the whole fucking game. It was a bad game. Like it was a bad game. Like don't let he threw for 50 he threw 50 times. He threw 50 times. They only rushed 14.
And that's not even them. It's not their squad.
It's not the squad. It's the QB. To get Philip Nelson the fuck up out of there. The same way I was on Matt McGloin, the same way I've been on Cardale Jones, these QBs don't get no pass with me. These QBs get 0 pass with me. I have to, in order for the XFL to succeed, people like good QBs. People love to see their quarterback be good. Like, or at least be able to control their fucking team. Philip Nelson couldn't do it. Now, mind you, matter of fact, I think this is Philip Nelson's like second start. I think he was the first week starter. He was week 1 starter, and then he started this game because Landry Jones has been in the past few weeks. So, yeah, like Philip Nelson ain't it. Eric Dungy that came back to the team after his father passed. Again, condolences to the Dungy family and everything that y'all got going on over there. But Eric Dungy's back. Give him a shot. Give him a shot. Fuck it. Get Philip Nelson the fuck up out of there. But overall, that's my notes for the game. New York definitely impressed. And New York earned their 3-2. And Dallas, unfortunately, in this game, earned their 2-3.
They really earned their 3-2.
They earned that 3-2.
I wasn't expecting them to win this game, nor the last one.
And but what did I say? Put Luis Perez in and watch what he can do.
Well, Perez didn't do that much better.
16 for 30.
He didn't do that much better.
As far as percentage rise, you're right. He didn't do that much better.
He still had a turnover. He still threw 1 interception. This game was won by defense.
It was.
That defensive line for New York just took over the game.
Number 44 with the interception touchdown. Number 97, if I'm not mistaken, for either 97 or 96. Yeah, the big man was out there. They was getting it done. They was getting it done. All like, and not just Saturday, but Sunday too. Like these are the Saturday games that we're talking about right now because it's 2 every Saturday and 2 every Sunday. You can find the XFL games on ESPN, ESPN2, FS1, like
and 2.
Yeah, FS1 and 2. You can find these games quite a few places. I think maybe even CBS, but don't quote me on that last one. But I know for a fact Fox and ESPN host games. But what are your thoughts about this game besides the defense? That's it. That's it for you. It was just the defense. That's it. Okay.
You should know me by now.
that's
you know
it. I understand.
Defense. What I will say though is Dallas. They got away from Dallas.
Yeah, like y'all, like my boy Cameron Artis-Payne. Only 14 rushes, and my boy Cameron Artis-Payne, who's in like the top 3 or 4 of rushers in the league.
I'm not sure what was going on with the game plan, but they need to stick to their identity. They need to run the football. The quarterback played good enough for the Dallas, and if they ran the football enough, they could have won the game.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my take. Dallas got away from their identity, and New York
stepped up.
Line
stepped up. They guarded New York. But
they did.
Next up, coming into the game, 4-0. They had a home game. Seattle visited Houston.
That's not their name.
Seattle visited MVP.
There you go.
Seattle was 1-3. Houston was 4-0 coming into the game. This, by far, to me, I believe was the best. This was the best game. In between this one and the LA Tampa game were the 2 best games. But again, that's personal opinion. And was it LA Tampa? Yeah, it was LA Tampa. Yeah. So again, personal opinion, but because PJ Walker Brady is like his guy and this is his team, he obviously gets to start off this segment.
Well, I started off with the score was 32-23 Houston, of course. It was closer than what the score said. I guess the score still says it was pretty close, but if you didn't watch the game was pretty close. From
the game, it was a good game all around.
Seattle, they came to play like always, but again, they were not home.
Here we go.
The evidence speaks for itself, bro. I mean, if they're not home, they're not winning, and I see that continuing the whole season. They might get 1, maybe 2 away games, but I see all their wins coming from home, bro. Whatever win they get, gonna be coming from home. Their running game altogether was about 100 yards, so they didn't really rush it that good. Daniels, he went for 22 attempts, 14 completions for only 114 yards. I mean, I know you had a running team, but the running game didn't do much, so he needed to step it up, and he didn't.
Right.
He had 0 TDs.
Passing.
Yeah, 0 passing TDs. It's bad. I understand you going against MVP's defense. I get it. But that's bad.
Hold on. So since we're bringing up the stats, let me just give you all the complete stat lines, or at least the best stat lines from both teams. Like you said, BJ Daniels, 14 for 22, 114 yards, 10 rushes, 30 yards, 2 touchdowns. The best receiver on that side was Pro, 3 receptions, 56 yards, at an average of about 18.7 yards a catch. Their rushing didn't really do too much at all, so it's nothing to really speak about. On the Houston side, PJ Walker, 27 for 38, 351 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The wide receivers over there, Cam Phillips, 10 receptions, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also, by the way, PJ Walker walked away with an 104 QBR. Mobley, 6 receptions, 95 yards. Nick Holly, 4 receptions. I didn't get the yards now. What was the receptions for Holly?
Holly?
Yeah, the yard.
It was only 72 yards.
72 yards. Again, still not bad. They're rushing.
Yeah, he averaged 18.
They're rushing 10 rushes for 54 yards for Williams, and for Butler, 12 rushes, 52 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, that's just the most impressive stats between the 2 teams. But continue.
Houston was balanced. They were balanced. They were close to losing this game.
Second week in a row, by the way.
Defense pretty much still sealed it for him.
It did.
Again, for the third week in a row. But Walker had, 351 yards?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I'm pretty sure I called that last week. MVP is going to continue to be MVP. They're going to win the next game and lose the next one after that. But that's my take, though.
Okay. I believe Seattle had a good defense. I believe Seattle's defense was good. But here's the thing, right? I like to make NFL comparisons. That way y'all can get what I mean.
There's no point of that with this.
But look, right? In a sense, you know how with Tom Brady, when Brady is down, Brady can make epic comebacks. He can fling that ball. He can get touchdowns, repeat it, and come. Tom Brady's clutch. Tom Brady's clutch.
He's the GOAT.
PJ Walker showed, in my eyes, a Brady-like clutchness. And the reason why I'm saying that is this, right?
You sure you don't want to give it to the receivers, though? Because those deep passes is what got them that game. And them, the way they ran those routes.
Do I want to change this up mid-take and give it to the receivers? Let me review my notes. As a matter of fact, you're right. Because, again, I can't even compare necessarily to a Brady. Possibly a Rodgers. Because of the 2 interceptions. That's not necessarily Brady-like. You don't really hear too many interceptions in a Brady game. At least for Brady, anyway. His opponents, maybe, but not for Brady. Even though I hate Brady, I got to give the man his credit. But, yeah, as a matter of fact, you're right. I give it to the receivers. The receiving core over there in Houston is absolutely ridiculous. The running backs they got over there in Houston is ridiculous. The play caller, the head coach, have been able to find a way to maximize this offense. Like, you got to think about it. Out of all 8 teams, Houston's the only one ain't nobody been able to take down. Houston's the only team hasn't nobody been able to figure out how to take down. And we're halfway through the season. We got 5 games left, 5 weeks left. We're halfway through the season before the XFL playoffs start. And boy, when the XFL playoffs start, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to it.
DC gonna make it there.
Boy. As of right now, we're in though. As of right now, we're in the playoffs. But yeah, I feel like Seattle's defense was good. I feel like BJ Daniels makes the Seattle offense better. I feel like not necessarily with his passing, but with his mobility, he makes the offense better. Because he's so mobile with his legs, it opens up the passing that is there. It opens it up. So Pro and Daniels, I always like to put together like a QB wide receiver combo, like I did with Houston and Walker and Phillips. You gotta watch those two. Watch Pro and watch Daniels. And if they can find a connection, like find a link, it's gonna be a dangerous combination. That's gonna be a dangerous passing combination for Seattle. They do. That's 100% right. They just need better play calling. But the biggest thing about this goddamn game, though, wasn't even necessarily the game. Last play. 2 seconds left on the clock. At the 2-second mark, PJ Walker Brady takes a knee. 2 seconds left on the clock. Everybody walks off the field. Seattle and Houston are still on the field because they know there's at least one possession left that Seattle got. Seattle got one more shot.
Yeah.
The announcers are saying it. They're like, what are they doing? It's 2 seconds left on the clock. Where are they going? Wait. Is nobody gonna go get them? Is nobody gonna say nothing? Like, they even said, I know y'all can hear us. Like, we know y'all can hear us. Yeah. Like, y'all gonna keep walking to the locker room. Y'all not gonna do nothing. It's like this is a crazy way to end this like XFL game.
But do you feel they were going to score or something?
I feel like they should have had their shot. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there. I just feel like they should have had their chance. Because you never know in football.
I mean, you never know, but you never know.
You never know. We didn't see hella miracles in football. Like that's the beauty of football. You never know. It literally takes one play to change a whole game. But yeah, that was the biggest thing coming out of there.
Well, let's give them a round of applause for going 5-0.
Definitely halfway through the season, 5-0, no losses. Walker is looking like an MVP candidate.
They win different ways, though.
That's
do. That's what I like about them so much. It's like it could be the
because last week it wasn't Walker at all. Last week it was the defense.
Right. Like they found a way to pour the wins out, and I think that's gonna happen.
Even though I feel like Houston's defense is question like they're decent. I don't feel like Houston is had like the best defense in the league. I feel like Houston's defense is decent. But you want to talk about the best
defense in the league.
You want to talk about the best defense in the league? Hey, DC.
Really? Who has more takeaways?
Actually, we're going to get into we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Not yet, though. We're going to get into that. The next game up, DC versus St. Louis. I told y'all last week, right, that this game.
Hold on.
This game scared me.
Let's give it up for DC.
What's up, boys?
I told
What's
y'all.
up, boys? This game scared me. I told y'all last week when we picked who we thought was gonna win this week that I had no faith in DC. No. I had lost it after those two blowout losses.
You can't give up on your squad. You picked them.
I did. I lost the faith, but in this game I regained it. I didn't regain it because of the offense. I regained it because of the defense. Because they did their goddamn job. The defense did their goddamn job. You held Jordan Ta'amu, who's damn near top 2, top 3 QBs in the league in the XFL. You held him to 6 points. Literally, think about it though.
No TDs.
No TDs. They held Houston. I mean, they held St. Louis to no touchdowns.
They really didn't get any neither.
No offensive touchdowns. No defensive touchdown. Their only score came off of a special teams return. That's it. That's it. That's why I literally just said I feel like DC's defense, or what he's been saying over the past, like since the beginning, DC's defense is what is the glue of this team. DC's defense has been masking the lack of the offense.
Nice one.
Like, DC's defense has just been masking it. They're the defenders. The defense is there. We defending shit. It's just, again, those past couple of weeks when we got the 30 pieces, we was getting taken off the field so goddamn fast that the defense could never really catch their breath. After going back and reviewing the games, that's what I caught. But just some stats. The running back attack for St. Louis was definitely there. They just wasn't able to score. Matt Jones, 13 rushes, 70 yards. Christian Michael, 12 yards, 12 rushes, 69 yards.
Yeah, they were going in.
The running backs was there. Jordan Ta'amu, 15 for 25, 175 yards. Again, not bad. It just wasn't enough. Like, anytime they, like the red zone stoppage was amazing by DC's defense. But again, another shout out to St. Louis. Washington, the wide receiver Washington. Watch out for him if you watch one of St. Louis's games. 5 receptions, 114 yards. Good money. Good money. Good money. Good money.
Average 22 yards a carry.
But also, can we give a clap up for St. Louis's defense too? Because they held down DC to 15 points. The offense just wasn't able to score. If the offense was able to score the way they've been able to over the past 4 weeks,
been struggling already?
No, they've been able to put up points. They've been able to put up points these past few weeks. And then DC. So DC. Cardale, I've defended you. I defended you for 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually. I defended you. Last week, you completely let me down. This week, until you improve, it showed.
He only had 2 attempts though.
In one of those attempts was an interception.
I know, but he only had 2 attempts.
Fuck that. The reason why they took him out the goddamn game because of the goddamn interception. And it literally your first or second throw of the goddamn game is an interception. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. He's been struggling for 2 weeks.
So how you expect him to get it together if you're just gonna throw him right out?
Give him more practice reps. Try him again in a different game. It's just again after
he should have finished that game.
No.
If
the past 2 weeks you literally been getting 30 pieced in the past 2 weeks, and then your first play in the third week, again the rule of 3 consecutive, right? In the third week, if this is what you did again in your very first play was through an interception, nah, bro, you already starting off fucked up.
But the quarterback after him didn't.
He didn't do much, but he didn't need to.
Exactly. So what was the point of taking him out, bro?
Because Cardell would have made it much worse.
You don't know that.
I believe so. I feel like Cardell. I'm not gonna say much worse. I just believe Cardell Jones would have made it worse.
So
like again, like I said, Seattle don't got like a soft defense.
So is Jones done? You think they gonna?
I want them to give him one more game. Just not this game. No, not this game.
So you gonna wait till they play a harder?
No, give him a softball. Give him a softball. Fuck. Like, let me see. Fucking give him Dallas. When we go up against fucking Dallas, give him Dallas. Dallas not gonna win. Give him Dallas.
Oh, he's gonna do Dallas like that.
Give him Dallas. Give him. You see what I'm saying? Let him work it out there. Get your rhythm back. Get that little. Okay, yeah, I killed Dallas, but still, like I got me some sort of rhythm. Fuck it. But no, Jackson came in. Decent debut, 9 for 14, only 39 yards. He didn't do too much of shit. The big host of the game was Jake Presley with 15 rushes and 107 yards. My nigga, I told. And what did we say last week? If you lean on your running, if you lean on your running, it'll open up the passing. Lean on your running, it opens up the passing.
That's why they shouldn't have took him out.
In the tree, a part of the tree. In the tree, a part of the tree. You get what we're saying here? Fuck, I don't see why the fuck is this so goddamn hard. But there was also a lot of fucking field goals being kicked. It was a lot of field goals this game.
It's been DC's problem all year.
The points, we need a better offensive strategy. Something we said off air was we both felt like DC just needs to change up the way they run their offense. Like we both feel like they need to lean more into like the read option, more into the run, set up the passing type of thing. Because what they doing right now with trying to let the passing lead, it's just not working. It's not working at all. But I know that again, anytime I talk about DC, it's a pretty long take. But it's your turn, sir.
You didn't pretty much say it all. The only thing I disagree with you with is taking Jones out. I think that Jones should have stayed in the game. The running game was doing so good that they could have, like you said, played off of that into the play action, which would have helped him get back into his groove, and he would have been just fine. Them taking him out is showing that they have no confidence in him, and for that, the play is still going to suffer. And then putting him in the position with the next team and the team after that is not going to be a good idea. He needs at least 2 games before he go play Houston just to be all right, to, you know what I'm saying, get his feet under him and be back to the
well, again, if they start him next week, he got one. He got 1 game before we face Houston.
And he already shaky. You know what I'm saying? He already shaky now.
I'm looking so forward to this Houston DC game.
Look, he already shaky because they already not trusting him. So if they do play him next game, he gonna end up probably fucking up. He could have without him got his fuck ups out this game and still won the game and would have been fine the next 2 games or so. So that's the only thing I don't agree with. They should have never took him out just because of that 1 interception. But
again,
they won. I said they were gonna win. I knew they were gonna win.
He did. Shout out. Pass it. You gonna leave it up there?
And like, oh, my bad. And
he just left it up there, man.
Anyway, so yeah, they did that thing. They needed the win, like I said. They needed it. That's my take. Just
by the way,
keep the one you're gonna use, the quarterback you're gonna use out there, man. Everybody make mistakes. They were already gonna win the game anyway, as you can see from the running game.
I said, by the way, the score was 15-6. 15-6. 15 DC, 6 St. Louis.
So what is DC now?
3-2. 3-2.
And
St. Louis is 3-2. This was St. Louis' chance to go 4-1. They're 3-2. It would have looked so much prettier if they was 4-1. It would look so much better.
Yeah, but DC went there, man.
Yeah, again, DC definitely did. Like, I'm not. When I saw the win, I was like, what? Like, we beat them. We beat them. Okay. I know I'm gonna have to hear some shit about that, but it's fine. Next up, the final game. The final game. Again, this was my other contender for game of the week because of how explosive it was. Tampa Bay 1-3 versus LA 1-3. You want to start this one off? Because I have the stats.
No, this is what I'm gonna say.
You want me to drop the stats?
Nah, I don't need you to say this yet because I'm going the same direction I went last week.
He think this is a trash game.
Look at the score.
He think this is a trash game.
No defense in this game. Look, I'm gonna give you the score: 41-34, LA. LA won the game. They had 41 points. They almost dropped a 50 burger. No defense in this game. That's all I'm gonna say. No, I guess it was exciting because of the plays and all the
So what the fuck do you be saying about games with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs?
I like Patrick Mahomes, and that's the NFL.
They put up like 40 points a game.
The defense is already terrible in the XFL. So I can't just glorify the even worse defensive play.
We will not disrespect DC's defense.
Well, they're not as bad as these two teams.
No,
right
not
now.
at all. Not at all.
But I just can't accept a game with no defense.
Okay.
When a 50 burger was almost dropped and the game was still close.
Okay.
So yeah. That's my take.
Got you. You might have a little bit more after the stats, but let's get into this. So Cornelius, 22 for 34, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 7 rushes for 44 yards, and another touchdown. He did everything in this game. Smith and Patrick, that two-headed monster we spoke of last week. Smith and Patrick, 24 rushes, 69 yards for Smith. 7 rushes, 23 yards, and a touchdown for Patrick. The receivers on Tampa Bay, Tolliver, Horn, and my nigga Williams. Shout out Williams. Tolliver, 4 receptions, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Horn, 9 receptions, 90 yards, 1 touchdown. Williams, 5 receptions, 86 yards, no touchdowns.
Oh,
got his ass.
But it's another one. It's another one though, right?
No.
I thought it was 3 or 4 of them.
That was it. The rest of them was defensive. The rest of them was defensive touchdowns. Again, you do have the stats pulled up, so you can double check.
Give it to them. It wasn't like their defense. Go ahead, man.
No, you good. That's Tampa Bay. Let's hop over here to LA. Johnson putting up a strong case for MVP, even though his team scored, his team's record is not there. At least he's putting up a strong case for being in second place. Purely based on stats and numbers of play. What have I always said about when it comes to awards? They are about the stats.
We know who MVP is.
Johnson, 20 for 36, 288 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 INT with a 107 QBR. The receivers in LA are dangerous. You got Smallwood, 4 receptions, 86 yards. Blacknall, 3 receptions, 78 yards. And McBride, 3 receptions, 38 yards. The rushing game didn't really do too much of nothing. But they didn't need to. The explosive passing offense And again, some good defensive plays. Even though the defense was trash, like overall, there was some good defensive plays that resulted in touchdowns. Oh yeah, my fault. I had a break right there for a second. Cornelius, I feel like as a game manager, he had an overall game. The running back attack, just like last week and just like the week before that, dangerous. Patrick and Smith are starting to find their groove and starting to bounce off of each other and go back to back. I've been speaking highly of Williams and Tolliver for Tampa Bay for quite a while now. Horn is new to me, so that's something different, but definitely Williams and Tolliver are their two best receivers. With LA, Josh Johnson, MVP candidate, at least a candidate. And the receiving core with LA is one of the best receiving cores in the league. Is one of the, not the best, because they still got to compete with Houston's receiving core, which I believe is the best. But LA definitely has the second best receiving core. Also, the game was won off of an interception.
What are the records for both of these teams? I don't remember. Are they both 1-something?
Somebody
just got 2-something.
Coming into the game, they were both 1-3. LA leads the game 2-3. Tampa Bay is 1-4.
You do know why that is, right?
Tampa Bay just ain't put it together. Tampa Bay just ain't put it together. Like, for some reason, I don't
see the defense. The defense is just not cutting it for me. It seemed like those turnovers and takeaways are given to them, not them making the right play. I guess you can't say they're still making the right play because they're at the right spot at the right time.
I'm about to say.
But it ain't them just tricking the
But
quarterback.
that's the thing. Josh Johnson only threw one interception. Josh Johnson threw one interception. Cornelius threw 2 interceptions. So everything else was literally them doing what the fuck they wanted
going
to.
Up, exactly, up downfield.
Yeah, just back and forth. But how's everybody doing? It's your boy Wei, host of the Way's World Podcast.
And your girl Shani the Shooter, co-host of the Way's World Podcast.
You can catch the Way's World Podcast every Monday through Wednesday by at least 3 p.m. on one of those days on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere that you get your local podcasts, and now
YouTube. Yeah.
We want to say thank you all for listening to the Way's World Podcast, and stay tuned for much more, because officially every episode from season 2 of the Way's World Podcast and every episode of season 2 of the Way's World Drunkcast will now be on YouTube. So once again, thank you all so much for listening, and stay tuned. So, next up, our XFL awards. You know how we do our players of the week, our worst of the week. We also are going to give you all the league leaders halfway through, and then we're going to give you our power rankings and our mid-season MVPs. So 4 things. First, let's just get the league leaders out the way. The top 3 in passing right now: PJ Walker with 1,338 yards passing through 5 games. Josh Johnson, 1,076 yards. Teamu, 1,050 yards. Rushing, Devion Smith from Tampa Bay, 365 yards rushing. Matt Jones from St. Louis, 314 yards rushing. And Jacquizz Patrick, 254 yards. Receiving, Cam Phillips, number 1, 455 yards. Dan Williams out of Tampa Bay, 338 yards. And Donald Parham out of Dallas, 307 yards. That's the offense. For the defense, the league leader in tackles right now is Steven Johnson from Seattle, 448 tackles. And in second place, Ahmad Dixon with 44 tackles. And then there's a big tie with third place right now between 3 people. In sacks, the top 3, Kevon Walker from New York, Cedric Reed from LA, Anthony Johnson from DC. And then with the interceptions, the top two are Dietrich Nichols from Houston and Cody Brown. I forgot to see where Cody Brown was from. If I'm not mistaken, Cody Brown is out of LA, but don't quote me on that. Those are our league leaders right now as far as statistics go. What do you think about that? Just brief thoughts.
I just think some people need to be in other places. That's what make me think shit.
You got your thinking?
Yeah, just think like, so this person should be here, or this person need to be over here. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Next up. Power rankings for this week. Because you know the XFL best and worst is the glue that holds talking sports together. It is our cement.
It be changing, though. It's starting to all come together, though.
It is. You get me? It's starting to form like a whole show. But last week, caught some flack and some criticism because of how I placed DC. I do feel like I was justified last week, but people will be surprised. So last week goes as follows. Number 8 was Seattle. Number 7 was DC. Number 6 was LA. Number 5 was Tampa Bay. Number 4 was New York. Number 3 was Dallas. Number 2 was St. Louis. And number 1 was Houston. This week, we got some dramatic ass changes.
I was just thinking that, like, I know you switched that on.
We got some dramatic ass changes this week. So, in 8th place this week, Dallas.
8th?
8th. I'll explain. The reason why I have Dallas in 8th is because of the quarterback situation. The quarterback situation this week was so fucking bad. And again, mind you, 14. Hold on. And let me double check myself. Let me double check myself really quick. Dallas rushed only 14 times. No.
Put them all the way at the bottom for just one game?
Yes.
A game of bad play calling?
Yes, because I feel like next week they're going to lose too. I feel like next week it's not going to get any better. Again, I might be...
Wait a minute. Time out. So, let me think. Dallas is 2-3.
Yes.
So it's 3 teams that only got one game they won, and you put Dallas all the way at the bottom.
Yes. Again, I just feel like, I believe I'm going to be proven right.
And in every game they play.
I believe I'm going to be proven right over the next few weeks, because I feel like Dallas's regression is going to be there. Now, when Landry Jones comes back, I feel like it's going to be completely different, and Dallas might rise up in my power rankings. But as of right now, I just believe who's ready. I just believe that Dallas is over these next couple of weeks is going to drop. Again, I could be wrong though.
You're wrong right now.
I could definitely be wrong.
You're wrong right now. What?
I know, right? Dramatic shift. I knew that one above all else was going to get people.
Wow.
At number 7, I have Seattle. This week their play impressed me more than Dallas's play. Even though Seattle does only have one win, I believe they've been in especially these past 2 weeks. They've been in every single game. They were literally in it until the end against the best team in the league. They was in it until the end with 2 seconds that they didn't get to play. Now, would it have made a difference? The world will never know, but it could have. You never know, sir. But number 6, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay dropped from number 5 last week to number 6.
Where they should be.
Tampa Bay, again, I feel like has the pieces. They just hadn't put them together. They have the pieces there. I read you the stat lines, and I'll give you the stat lines for the past couple of weeks from Seattle. They just haven't been able to put it together for a win, but they ain't been going like no hoes. Like the talent has been showing out. Number 5, rising up from number 7 last week, is the DC Defenders. The defense ended up.
Don't clap to that.
You
should have never put them down there.
The defense won me back. Last week I explained it was Cardale that brought them to 7. The defense won me back and got us up to 5. Number 4, LA. LA is 2-3, yes, but LA's play has been fool not me now. LA's play has been phenomenal. LA's play has been phenomenal. Josh Johnson has been balling. I've been giving you the stats. Josh Johnson has been fucking balling. What else more do I need to say? Like, Josh Johnson has been balling. He has been giving you MVP, XFL like numbers.
You could feel it when you said
Giving you like he deserves that number 4 spot. Number 3, New York. Now, mind you, a couple of weeks ago, like week 2, like, hold on, matter of fact, let me double check this real quick. Yeah, hold on, I had to get some more of the paperwork. So, coming into week 4, New York was at number 8 coming into week 4, right?
No, I think I had.
No, I had
coming into week 4.
Yeah, I had New York at number 8 coming into week 4.
Okay.
After week 4, coming into week 5, New York went from 8 to 4. People said I was crazy. People said I was fucking crazy.
I did too. I was like, what? Okay.
After week 4, going into week 5, after week 5, they're at number 3. That's coming off of 2 good ass wins.
The defense.
2 good ass wins. So New York definitely deserves their number 3 spot.
Okay.
Number 2, St. Louis. Even though they lost to DC, it was not necessarily same. The offense just couldn't get it together, but the defense definitely stepped up. So yeah, St. Louis.
1 and 2 stay the same.
Yeah. 1 and 2 stays the same. Okay. So let me just kind of give you all this dramatic shift really quick. So we've done 3, 4, and 5. We've done 3 weeks of power rankings. Week 3, 4, and 5, Houston has never left number 1. St. Louis has never left number 2. For the first couple of weeks in 3 and 4, Dallas held that number 3 slot down. They held that number 3 slot down. Dramatic drop to number 8 after week 5.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
New York, like I said, New York has rose consistently over the past few weeks. LA was at number 4, went to number 6, and is back at number 4. So pretty much my thoughts on LA is that they've been like the 4th best team. Again, pretty consistent there. DC went from 6 because I felt the loss was bad. Then they lost again and went to 7, but because they had a good defensive showing, they went to 5. So DC has been doing some mean fluctuation.
You have no trust in your team.
I do, but I predicted those 2 bad losses. I can't go against my own thoughts in this. Tampa Bay went from 7 to 5 to 6. So they've been like the lower half of the league. Like they've been in the lower half this whole time. They're definitely going to stay there because they're like, unless they make like a dramatic shift over the next 5 games and win all 5 games.
Didn't I call that the first week? I said Tampa Bay's.
Yeah.
Well, I know I said they will be the worst team.
Yeah, you did. He did. If you go back to episode 1, he definitely did. Seattle went from 5 down to 8, up to 7. So Seattle's had a dramatic drop. With Brandon Silvers going out, he was picking up momentum. Then they brought in B.J. Daniels. He did his damn thing, but it wasn't impressive enough in week 4 to really do too much to change my thoughts on Seattle. And then coming into this week, again, he was able to bump them up from the 8. He was able to bump them up from 8 to 7. So he did decent. He got them up a spot. And then, like I said, with Dallas just had like a major drop to me. But again, those are my power rankings.
All right, well, mine from last week, number 8 was LA. Number 7 was Tampa Bay. Number 6 was Seattle. Number 5 was New York. Number 4 was DC. Number 3 was Dallas. 2 St. Louis, and 1 MVP. I've had some changes too, so let's get into it. I'll put Tampa Bay 8th. They can run that ball, but other than that,
you don't feel like it's much substance.
I feel like you said if they
can put it together,
they need to just to get some people off and put some people on, obviously, and they'll be pretty good, but they can't do that, so they're gonna stay down there. Number 7, I got Seattle. Number 6, I got LA.
Okay.
Number 5, I got Dallas.
Okay.
Now DC is still the same. I'm not changing them yet. They still number 4. They've been number 4 for like the last 2-3 weeks. I think. They've been right there. I'm not switching on them like he is. You know,
I didn't switch on them. I just knew what was coming. That's all.
Well, they're number 4. The big surprise is the number 3 slot. We actually agree on something. New York.
New York is out here. 2-1.
Y'all know me, the defense. They've been stepping it up. If they stay on this run, if that defense can stay consistent, they might stay there. I ain't gonna say they're gonna rise, but they might stay there.
New York might have a decent little football team,
right? Which I'm actually hoping for. I haven't said before.
He likes New York football.
And the 2-1 is the same. St. Louis, Houston, or MVP.
So that's our power rankings for the week. The next up, XFL best and worst. You got yours together?
Yeah, I'm good.
Just in case you need a reminder over what you got the past few weeks. So, my best for this week, honestly, is going to be. I was switching back and forth between Cornelius from Tampa Bay, because like I said, he had an overall game, and Josh Johnson from LA. And I feel like the best this week was Josh Johnson from LA. I feel like Josh Johnson pulled it out with the win. Josh Johnson from LA is my best of this week. Again, just to read the stat line, if I may. Just to read the stat line very quickly. Josh Johnson, 20 for 36, 288 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Josh Johnson, best of the week. My worst of this week goes to, also had to switch this one up. I was gonna put Cardell, but I had to think about it. Like he said, he only had 2 snaps, 2 possessions, 2 passes. Even though one of those first 2 was an interception, he didn't have enough to truly even attempt to earn any award this week. So the worst of the week is going to go to Philip Nelson from Dallas. Because I feel like Philip Nelson is the reason why Dallas dropped down to number 8 in the power ranking. So I feel like Philip Nelson is definitely my XFL worst of the week. And by the way, this is the third time I picked a LA player as my player of the week. First week was Isaac Spruce, which please heal up very soon. Second week was Martez Carter. And then this week is Cornelius.
Okay.
I mean, not Cornelius. This week is Josh Johnson.
Well, my player of the week is Walker Brady.
Okay.
MVP.
Okay.
Over 300 yards.
Okay. Okay.
I caught that last week as well.
Okay.
I really don't have to explain that as the MVP of the league right now. We almost had the same for worst player of the week, but I have to give it to the coach. Well, the play caller.
Ooh,
Dallas.
Ooh, he didn't give it to a player. He's giving it to a coach.
The play caller. Y'all got away from what y'all are and lost the game.
Bob Stoops. He's coming for you, Coach Stoops.
Now, is that acceptable?
He's coming for you, Coach Stoops.
That's just
So, is your worst of the week. Wow.
It gotta be, man.
Okay.
If they would have ran that football.
14 rushes, only 14.
They would have been fine.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
That is our XFL Best and Worst of the Week, which is our most prized award here on Talking Sports. But we do have a new award. You ready? This award is the mid-season MVP.
We know who that is already.
Mid-season MVP. So, he's just over here convinced that the mid-season MVP is
MVP.
Is MVP, right?
Who else is it? Come on, man.
I have an argument.
Don't say what I think you're about to say.
For Josh Johnson. I have an argument for Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson did not play the first week. So one of the losses that LA has cannot be attributed to him. That still would put him at 3-2, but I feel like his stat line at this point would be better. The reason why I'm saying I feel like his stat line would be better is because he's only 300. He's on like a 260 yards behind Walker for the passing yards. He's only 260 yards behind, and he dropped 288 in this game.
So are you saying he can be a candidate, or
yes,
he is?
I feel like he has a case to be candidate, but again, you can't argue with perfection.
So who is
PJ Walker? It's PJ Walker. Okay. It's PJ Walker. It is PJ Walker. Okay. I just have to make an argument for Josh Johnson. He's in MVP contention, and if he can get the LA Wildcats to the playoffs, he might fuck around and win it. Like, it just depends. Has Houston played LA yet? I don't think Houston's played LA yet. I
don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, hold on. He can double check. I don't think Houston's played LA yet, but all of these things have been our XFL mid-season awards, our players of the week.
They beat the crap out of them.
Did they?
37-17.
Ooh, they dog walked them. Okay, never mind. Wait, what week?
First week.
Oh, see, wait, hold on. I'm glad he said that because that proves my point. That was Josh Johnson didn't play. Josh Johnson didn't play that first week.
That was first week.
That was that other quarterback. Josh Johnson didn't play that first week. He was hurt.
That ain't his fault. He's still
so let's see what happens when Josh Johnson face PJ Walker. Then we gonna see what's really up. But no, like I said, that was our power rankings, players of the week. Mid-season MVP, and yeah, that was everything that we gave you so far. We'll be right back here on Talking Sports with Wei And Croney with the first ever I can't even get it out because I'm so excited. The first ever Croney's Corner. We'll be right back here on Talking Sports.
Welcome back to Talking Sports with Wei and Croney. This is Croney's Corner. Today I just wanted to get on the subject of giving people their flowers while they're here. And today I want to give my flowers to LeBron James, the king. LeBron James. I do feel cold-heartedly that LeBron is one of the two greatest players who ever played the game, right next to Michael Jordan. I give it to Michael Jordan because, he's 6-0 in the finals. Is the GOAT. Yeah, he got 6 rings. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron is strong, definitely the second best in an NBA player to ever live. He has that second highest selling shoe. He averaged 27, 7, and 7 for his career, and he's still playing at the age of 35 in his 17th year, second runner-up in the MVP, and leading the league in assists. So again, I just want to give my flowers to him now while he's here and while he's still playing the game. One of the greatest off the court ambassadors.
I'm gonna say, do you feel people disrespect LeBron?
Of course, they make it seem like because he make the best basketball play, he's the softest player to ever play the game. Yeah, okay. But anyway, like I said, I just want to give my flowers while I can, while he's here and while I can. And this is Croney's Corner, and we'll be back with Ways and Croney's Talking Sports.
Finally, on Talking Sports with Wei and Croney. After that fantastic Croney's Corner, we're going to start doing that more often. He's going to find a bone to pick, and we're going to let him pick it. And I'm just going to sit back here and chill while he pick that bone. The last thing we're going to talk about is a very interesting question. Matter of fact, it's two things, both surrounding the NBA, though. Normally we have more than one NBA question of the week or things that we can debate. But this time we only have one, and then we also have some information. So let's get to the question first, which is, do you, sir, believe that Russell Westbrook's hard-headed and stubbornness is going to stop the Rockets in the playoffs? Y'all know me. If I could have a Harden jersey on or a Westbrook jersey on right now, I would. But no, I personally don't. I know he has a hard head, and a hard head makes a soft ass. But James and Russ, I feel like are actual friends compared to Russ and KD. So I feel like it'll work a lot better. That's all I have to say.
That's it?
And that's all I have to say. I know, right? Very, very, very short, very brief, very to the point.
All right.
Because you apparently,
I get to the point.
I'm saying you apparently had a lot.
I mean, I do got a lot of things to say about the Rockets and their organization as a whole, but I'm not going to get into all of that for this question.
Okay.
No, I don't think his hard-headedness will disrupt this team or stop them from making a good run in the playoffs. The coach and his dumb decisions is what's going to stop them from making a run or a deep run in the playoffs.
Did he just disrespect Mike D'Antoni?
Yeah, I did, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Matter of fact, I can't even defend D'Antoni. I can't defend D'Antoni. So
the problem with the Rockets, they just had a 4-game losing streak or something like that recently.
Losing streak?
Yeah, they just lost the last couple games. They just won last night. But
Yeah,
before that, they lost. It was at least, I want to say 3 or 4, but anyway.
I gotta double check these things.
It's not Westbrook who's causing things to look bad at times for them. It's the role players, and they're not hitting shots. Russell Westbrook.
Ooh, I thought he was about to come in my boy Harden.
It's Harden too.
Watch your mouth.
It's Harden too.
Watch your mouth.
He's shooting.
We will have no James Harden slander on Talking Sports.
For the last month.
We'll have no James Harden slander.
For the last month, James Harden has been shooting 30% or below from behind the 3-point line. If you need to look it up, look it up.
But when LeBron shoots 30% and below, they be like, but LeBron's not a shooter.
LeBron is not shooting 30% from the field
now
behind the 3-point line. And LeBron's so good at everything else that it doesn't
see
from the 3-point line. That team wins off of him hitting threes. Without those threes made, last night they made 15 threes, they won. The last couple games before that, they only hit like 5 threes in the whole game, they lose. The only way they're going to win games is if they're hitting those 3-point shots. Westbrook is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing, and he's getting, you know what I'm saying, he's averaging good points and things like that off of what he's doing. But the team is not going to win unless they're hitting shots, and that's what they're not doing.
Don't really appreciate that. But no, I
Facts.
just I don't
Facts.
I don't believe I can never say this man's full name. So Westbrook. There we go.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, whenever it sounds like
Rez. I did it too.
But yeah, Westbrook. For some reason, people feel like he does like a velociraptor. But that's not what we're talking about.
You do know.
But just, like I believe that like he is not. I don't believe that like his stubbornness is gonna get in the way. Like I just feel like this something magical is gonna happen in the playoffs. Playoffs is a different animal. We'll see when we get there. But no,
You can't say that about Russ.
I personally don't believe that it's going to be something that stops the Rockets in the playoffs. I don't believe the stubbornness is going to do that.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Because this is your squad.
I
like to be honest when it comes to the NBA.
I just don't believe that it's going to stop them.
So, I'm going to ask you this. Do you believe they're going to make a long run in the playoffs this year?
I'm seeing conference finals. Especially the way it's going right now. Hold on. Because if the Rockets continue to win and the Clippers continue to have whatever kind of shaky thing that they're doing right now, that has been getting better. They've been getting better. They have been getting better. But for a while there, they were shaky for a while there.
Because the whole roster didn't play less. They play less than 10 games together.
If the Clippers fall to 4 and the Rockets can get that 3rd spot, if the Clippers fall to 4 and the Rockets can get that 3 spot, that would mean the 2 LA teams would face off in the 2nd round.
That's not gonna happen.
It's always a possibility.
He won't his team.
It's always a possibility. Now, will I 100% tell you that I believe that Russell Westbrook is going to be able, and James Harden are going to be able to go through both LeBron and Kawhi in the same playoffs? Fuck no. I'm not even going to bullshit.
I like the honesty.
I'm not even going to bullshit you. I don't think
But you have faith.
I have faith. That's all it is.
I don't even see how you have
I have faith. Because
you have 2 guys.
I'm a team loyalist. He was just talking about me in DC. It's not that I was never loyal to DC.
Ain't loyal.
I just questioned things about DC. I just questioned things about DC.
As I loyal to DC.
I am.
You loyal to the Raptors. I give you that all day.
The Rockets.
I mean, yeah, the Rockets.
The
Raptors. The Raptors.
The Rockets.
The comment about Westbrook is me.
He looks like a fucking velociraptor. You ain't never seen that meme?
I would call them Raptors for now. Every time I think
I can't stand you.
You did it.
Let's get off the team. Let's get off the team.
No, because
I
have something to say.
Sir, you okay?
Because you say different. Because your statements just be choking me up, bro. I can't help it. You said different monsters in the playoffs.
Yes.
Who? Because I know you ain't talking about Westbrook or Harden.
I feel like them together can become like what's the word? What's the
only time they really made noise in the playoffs and when they made it to the finals, who they had?
Well, when the Rockets made it to the
no, I'm just talking about them two.
When Westbrook made it to the finals. Oh,
Westbrook and Harden.
Oh yeah, you're right. They both were on the team. It was KD there. It was KD. You're right.
I'm tired of Harden choking. I'm so tired of him choking.
I am too.
And Westbrook, as long as he don't shoot no threes and just do what he been doing for the Rockets, he'll be fine.
Buckets.
But it's all on Harden. I feel it's all of it's on Harden.
Back in the shot. Back in the shot. That fast.
All of it. But yeah, you gotta have faith in your team.
I do. And again, you're right. I'm not as much of a DC loyalist as I am to the Rockets, but we are through 5 weeks of loyalty.
No, you in 3 weeks of loyalty.
I've been through 5 weeks. Like we only got 5 weeks of games, but I've rode with DC
for 3 of them.
No. For 4.
For 3 of them.
The only one I did.
You just had them in your low in your power ranking.
No, but the only time I picked DC to lose was against St. Louis. The other 4 weeks, I picked DC to win every time. The only time was literally week 5 was the only week I did not pick DC to win. So 4 for 1. I mean 4 out of 5. Like I think that's pretty low, 80%. But the last thing that we're gonna talk about, the last subject, is a very, very serious subject.
Yeah.
So we've covered here in the Ways world, like in the whole universe that we're creating here. We've discussed the coronavirus on the Ways World podcast, and I believe we discussed the coronavirus before on the Ways World Drunkcast. Now the coronavirus has reached talking sports because it has affected many a sport. Just a list of some of the things that's been going on with wrestling. Wrestling is talking about having empty arena shows, which means nobody can come to the shows, like empty arena completely. In basketball, there's been talks of empty arena basketball games.
Yep. They already split up the media.
They split the media away from the players.
They can't. They know it's only people that's in the locker rooms are the players and coaches. The media can't go in there. Nothing like that.
I also believe that the XFL was considering starting to do empty arena games because of the coronavirus. It is definitely going to hurt. Hopefully, again, it subsides by the time the NFL kicks up, and we don't even have to think about that. The Ivy League basketball NCAA conference, they've canceled their conference games. Like the regular season winners are the automatic winners of the Ivy League this year. There's no tournament. How every basketball conference has a tournament to see who's the winner. Yeah, there's no Ivy League tournament. And there's been other schools talking about tournaments being canceled. And I know this isn't sports related, but even like Coachella, couple of rock concerts, I think it was one called SXSW or something like that. I think that's might be South by Southwest. I might be tripping. But yeah, it's just this coronavirus. I don't know how serious it is 100%. I haven't looked up the details. I haven't gone into extreme research about this. I've heard from some places it's like the flu. I've heard from some places it's a little bit worse. Just be safe.
They say that most people who really need to worry about it is elderly and
children,
sick people. Yeah, elderly and sick people. Well, they say it's like the flu, but it's killed I think 300 people so far, maybe. And from what I'm hearing, the flu is killing more people than this virus is. So I wouldn't tell people to not take it serious. But
yeah.
I'm just not all the way 100 that we should be taking it as serious as they're trying to make it seem we should.
Right now, I'm borderline 50-50 because I would hate to not take it serious and then we end up with fucking zombie land.
Right.
And then I would hate to take it too serious that I become a fucking a quarantine, and then I fucking just quarantine myself and be walking around consistently with a bottle of hand sanitizer, which by the way is not a bad idea, honestly. But you get what I'm saying? I don't want to be one of those people that's ick, and just all extra. Just nah. I'm in, like I said, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle on this, but it has affected sports it has affected sports, and people are trying to avoid it being spread. So we just, from talking sports and the rest of the Ways World universe, we just hope everybody is being clean. We hope that everybody sanitizes. We hope everybody, if you feel any of the symptoms, that you, what's the word I'm looking for, that you get immediate medical help. If you even think it's a slight chance that you may have it, go get medical help.
Flu symptoms.
Yeah, like this is nothing to play with, and you should definitely take this serious. But we'll be right back here with the outro on Talking Sports with Wei
And Croney.
and finale. Finito. We are here at the end of the show. This has been a very, very good show in my opinion. I feel like we had stats, we had XFL games. I tried to think something that rhymed with stats, but I couldn't think of nothing that would be funny. We had XFL Week 5. We gave you our XFL Power Rankings, our XFL Players of the Week, and we also gave you our mid-season MVP, which overall, just one more time, is PJ Walker. So, final clap up of the show for PJ Walker. MVP. And we also talked about the coronavirus reaching sports, and we gave y'all our NBA question of the week, which was, is Russell Westbrook, like his hard-headedness, enough to stop the Rockets in the playoffs?
No.
He believes no. As usual, tell us who you all think won the debate. This week, I think I got his ass. Personally, I think I got his ass. Like, through 5 weeks of the show, I think I broke the tie. It was 2-2 going into game 5. I think I won this one to close it out. I don't know.
You was tripping putting Dallas at 8.
We'll see. We'll see if I won these arguments, but let us know. But as usual, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere else that you get your local podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button down there. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can stay tuned for all episodes of Talking Sports with Wei and Croney and everything else inside the Ways World universe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, make sure you rate us 5 stars. The higher the rates, the better production that we can go ahead and bring you all, and the more views we get. We definitely appreciate everybody that watches. If you're watching day or night, this has been Talking Sports with Wei
And Croney.
Have yourself a good day in the day and a good night at night.